Welcome back, everyone, to the fall finale of Inside the Nest. I'm your host, Stefania Bastink, and while you usually see me behind the camera, I'm so excited to be bringing you all the news on Montclair State athletics. We've officially moved indoors, and winter sports are in full swing. Men and women's basketball are settling into their seasons and have faced some big NJAC matchups. Let's get caught up on how things have shaken out so far. Both MSU basketball teams have been putting in work to succeed on the court. Let's start with the men's team. They are currently 4-2 with a 2-1 record in the NJAC. Their home opener against Albertus Magnus was a crazy one. Both teams were playing great offense and defense, and Albertus Magnus forced overtime after scoring a free throw to tie up the game 62-62 with 1:19 left on the clock. However, MSU still had some gas left in the tank, and Kyrie Henry sank the three to force double overtime. The Redhawks fought to take control of the game, but Albertus Magnus would come out on top, winning the game 86-83. Mike Jackson led the team in points with 20, followed by Kieran Flanagan with 17 and Keon Price with 15. The Redhawks went into another overtime game against NJCU, but this time they got the win with a final score of 83-82. It was definitely a hard-fought battle as both teams were coming at each other with everything to win. By the end of the regulated time, the score was 76-76. With 10 seconds left on the clock, NJCU was up by 1 from a free throw, but Keon Price went on a fast break and won the foul. Price scored both of his free throws and gave MSU the lead with 8 seconds left. All the Redhawks had to do was defend, and they did it well. Lastly, they played against both Rutgers Newark and Rutgers Camden. Unfortunately for the Redhawks, they lost against Rutgers Newark 72-60. They only put up 26 points in the first half compared to the Scarlet Raiders' 45. Though they lost to Rutgers Newark, they did take the win against Rutgers Camden on the road. The final score was 72-70. Now let's move on to the women. Unfortunately for MSU, they lost their home opener against King's College, the final score being 42-36. This loss would be their second one out of 4, as they went on a 4-game losing streak. Their third loss was on the road against Stevens, with a final score of 65-59, and their most recent loss was against NJCU, 62-43. However, the Redhawks have stepped it up after this loss, as they are now currently on a 3-game winning streak. They got a win over Hunter College on November 27th, with a final score of 83-79. MSU was down at the half, losing 44-39, but they weren't going to take the loss. They ended up outscoring Hunter College in the last 2 quarters, 25-20 in the third and 19-15 in the fourth. Next up, they beat Rutgers Newark on November 29th with an absolute stellar performance. The final score was 88-43. Sophomore Isabella Orlando boasted the most points, scoring 16, followed up by Shannon Hughes with 14. Lastly, they beat Rutgers Camden on the road, the final score being 62-50. The Redhawks are currently 4-4 with a 2-1 conference record. Both the men and women's team take on Route 46 rival William Patterson this Wednesday at Panzer. Every winter break, the women's basketball team travels to a tournament, but this year they've decided to host their own in honor of Mike Scala, former director of sports publicity for the Redhawks since 1999. Mike died on August 26 after a 3.5 battle with colon cancer. The tournament will take place at Panzer Athletic Center on December 30th and 31st. We'll be there broadcasting it in full, so we hope everyone can come out to support the team and honor Mike's memory. The women's soccer team had an amazing season, from playing at Red Bull Arena to earning a bid to the NCAA tournament. Luke Sirianni sat down with sophomore forward Kylie Prendergast, graduate student goalkeeper Haley Martin, and head coach Pat Nodder to reflect on their season highlights. Let's take a look.
The women's soccer season officially comes to an end in 2023. I'm here joined by Coach Pat Nodder and 2 of his players, Haley Martin and Kylie Prendergast. Coach, first question for you. Ended the season at a 13-3-3 overall record, 6-1-2 in conference. What does that say about the team you got to coach?
I thought it was a great season. We were, I think, one of the best teams in the country, and getting into the NCAA tournament kind of validates that. For me, this is the toughest league in the country to play in, and we were right there, competing conference-wise and then regionally throughout the year. This the record was great, but our strength of schedule, they were tested game in, game out, and I think as a group they did great.
And you know, a lot of great players on your team, but specifically the two in the room that are joining you today. What do you have to say for their performances this year?
They were really well coached. No, I'm kidding. They're obviously a big reason for our success. We went into every game knowing the term is like having a puncher's chance, where we didn't know if we had the best matchup in all 11 spots, but we knew that we were going to be able to score goals against anybody in America, and that we would be able to keep other teams off the board. And part of that, big reasons for that was Haley in goal. We knew that any day she could make every save asked of her. And there's very few kids that we've had in the program that you had that much confidence in being able to do that. And then Kylie's a huge reason why we know that regardless who we're playing, we don't even need to be playing great soccer. Every once in a while we can just kind of get her the ball. She can make some magic happen.
So Haley, you were in goalkeeper this year. 11 clean sheets on the season. It's a great number. Great back line to go along with it, but I thought you did a good job in net yourself. Tell me, how does it feel?
As a goalkeeper in any defensive position, you want to go and get the clean sheet. So in our little huddles before the game, especially like the back line and I were always just like, let's get a goose egg. Like, we want 0. Helps for, like, it looks good. You know what I mean? You always want the winning result, but to get it with a clean sheet just is like the cherry on top. What was it on top of the Brussels sprouts? The icing. The icing on the Brussels sprout.
And Kylie, I want to ask you, I mean, great defensive team overall, but a lot of success in the attack. For you specifically, 8 goals, 9 assists. You and Aileen Cahill up there. Great 1-2 punch. How did you think the season went?
I think it went good. I think definitely just being a sophomore, my connections with the attacking players got better, and just like with more experience, I kind of anticipated their movement. So I thought just our whole offensive line kind of worked well together. Ash, like, definitely, like, she was like kind of a rock back there, and like just not knowing what it would look like at the beginning was kind of like interesting to think about. And then Carrie moving from midfield to back. I never played with her when she was a center back, but I know she started there. But she like played really well, so I knew like offensively we had to just get goals, because I know the defense would like hold the 0-0.
But you have a third goal coming up, and a good pass by somebody in this room. We'll have you react.
She's going to do her job. She's going to make the save. And it's right back to business. She's going to let her line know, hey, this is some like adjustments, but never getting on anybody.
Prendergast to Cahill, and that is a Montclair State goal. What an amazing goal. Aileen Cahill, it is 3-0 Redhawks. We only have 4 minutes left to play. Man, Kylie Prendergast with those amazing moves, playing it across. Cahill, first-time header. The game might be sealed, Maz.
I mean, that was a great overall. How did it feel? I mean, you dribbled through a bunch of great players there and scored in a great stadium. Great assist with the cross. I mean, special play, right? That'll stick with you forever.
Yeah, it was a great feeling, and I'm pretty sure like the game before we had like an almost exact play like that, but like the header just went right above the crossbar, like barely missed. So then it was just funny how like the next game the play worked out, and it was good.
And then the third goal here to seal it, it went to extra time. I'm sure everyone here remembers. Yeah. But here we go. Let's take a look.
Cahill shot coming, a rifle, and a goal, Montclair! A goal, Montclair! At the brink, as you see the save from Morgan Kill coming. But somehow, some way, Gianna Kersey or Nicole Ritchie actually gets a foot in there.
I was super happy for Ritchie that she got that goal. I think that she's a kid that like works really, really hard. She's a great teammate, and just gives it every minute she plays is like on it. Gives it her all, 100%. And I think that was a good, like, I guess like I don't want to say moment of recognition, but like a good payout for her. Like I think that she had worked so hard all season that she deserved to be the kid in an important game and put one in the back of the net. So
overall, how do you sum up the MSU women's soccer career?
Oh, electric. I loved playing here. It was the best 4 years for me. I transferred. I wasn't really sure that I found my home at my first school. I was a little bit hesitant to come here as well. I wasn't really sure about, I didn't know really like if this would be my home. But I just knew that the best players I had played with were either already on this team or in the conference. So I figured that this would probably be a good fit for me, and it ended up being way better than I ever anticipated. So,
Coach Naughter, you'll be here next year. I mean, thoughts, expectations. What do you want to see next year from the squad?
Yeah, so we're going to lose a lot. And it's not just talent-wise, but we lose a lot of character, a lot of maturity, a lot of kids I leaned on personally to kind of get the temperature of the group, and I knew I would always get honest, open feedback.
And Kylie, you're going to be a junior next year. Your collegiate career is already halfway over. 2 more years left. What do you want to accomplish in the last 2 years?
Oh, well, definitely an NJAC championship. I think the grade below also didn't win one, I think. But definitely that, and then every year just kind of the standard is to make the NCAA tournament, and I hope we just advance more and more after each year.
Well, thank you all for your time. Haley Martin, Coach Pat Naughter, Kylie Prendergast. The women's soccer end of season wrap up. I'm Luke Sirianni with the Red Hawk Sports Network. See you next time.
It's award season for fall sports, and that means it's time for All-Conference and All-American awards. Let's start with All-Conference. Montclair State showed a strong presence on the ballot. To recap who received All-Conference honors this year, here's Connor Cupid.
Every year, NJAC athletes across the entire conference strive for a spot on the coveted All-Conference group. And this year, 33 Red Hawks made their mark on the NJAC through phenomenal play, including an entire coaching staff. So first, let's kick it off with 7 women from the soccer team.
And who else to start with but Aileen Cahill, a relentless force in the attacking line, claiming the title of NJAC Offensive Player of the Year. Her ability to find the net, strategic play, and consistent goal-scoring prowess have made her one of the most feared among the conference. Shannon Mullins, a standout rookie, emerged with NJAC Rookie of the Year honors, showcasing an exceptional adaptation to collegiate soccer. Her quick learning, determination, and impressive on-field displays set a high standard for newcomers in the game. 3 more Redhawks took home first-team All-Conference honors: Kylie Prendergast, Megan O'Callahan, and Emmy Dino-Velis. Further down the back line, landing on the second team, is Carrie Driscoll. Finally, Haley Martin, the guardian of the goalposts, just like a hawk protecting its nest. Her lightning reflexes and ability to make crucial saves have been the backbone of Montclair's defense, and earns her an NJAC honorable mention. Next, 7 exceptional men's soccer players, along with their coaching staff, set a benchmark for excellence and unity on the field. First off, none other than Amir Lukovic himself, a maestro in the offense, clinched the title of NJAC Offensive Player of the Year. With 34 goals this season, he's leading the NJAC in goals and looks to break the Redhawks scoring title. Owen Murphy, a midfielder virtuoso, earned the title of NJAC Midfielder of the Year. Ian Chesney claimed the NJAC Defender of the Year title, and Anir Radoncic was recognized for his exceptional leadership and courage with the David Lager Award, who embodies the spirit of the game. His guidance and unwavering courage set an example for his peers, elevating the team beyond the field of play. Now for our midfielders making the first team, Osman Mendez, Andre Shelton taking second team honors, and Alfredo Rojas getting the honorable mention. And it wasn't just the players, but the coaches get a nod too. The coaching staff, led by Todd Tumulty, also includes Joe Cullen, Marlon Pollard, Dwight Sabalo, and Antonio DeAndrea. On to field hockey now. 4 remarkable athletes. It's the first team for Gab Maisto, and it's her first time getting this award. And a master of the midfield, Carly Van Tassel. The Redhawks' leading goal scorer is a force to be reckoned with in the attacking line. It's her 4th first-team All-Conference in as many years, And on the honorable mention list, Carly Ammerman, who effortlessly transitions between midfield and defense, and Kylie Compton, who even has 4 goals to her name this season. To the hard court, we have volleyball. 2 exceptional athletes receiving honorable mentions, Sky Ramsey and Rachel Curran. Ramsey was ranking 7th in the conference with kills with an impressive tally of 281, and Curran took 4th in the conference for kills with 312, and then 7th in overall points with 345. These are a testament to Curran's dynamic playing style and consistent contribution to the Redhawks. Now on to the cross-country team. One athlete's relentless pursuit of success stood out, leaving an incredible mark in the world of distance running. Aubrey Johnson, a standout runner for the Redhawks, carved her path to success with sheer determination and unyielding spirit.
I'm very excited. The NJAC is a really difficult conference. It's very exciting to be all conference for them because I'm running against people who are going to nationals who are real competition, so I feel very proud of that.
Her performance at the NJAC Championships in the women's 6K earned her the prestigious second-team all-conference honors, clocking in an impressive time of 24 minutes and 5.2 seconds. Now it's time to wrap things up with the gridiron, and what better way to kick this off than Nicholas Burgess. Burgess not only secured his spot on the all-conference first team, but also claimed the prestigious title of Defensive Player of the Year. With bone-crushing tackles and game-changing plays, this is a well-deserved honor. Moving into the trenches, where battles are won and lost, we have Sam Ray earning first-team all-conference honors. And on the other side of the line is where Dimitri Pauly made his mark, also grabbing first-team all-conference. Now shifting gears into the skill positions, we find Henry Lewis, a running back who danced his way onto the first-team all-conference roster. And sharing that same backfield, Abajani Mendez, taking a second-team all-conference spot. And now taking flight downfield into the receiving corps, we start with Anthony Roger, a wide receiver whose stellar performance earned him second-team all-conference. And joining him right there is Clarence Wilkins, also on the second team. And in the defensive backfield, Jaleel Terrell, a cornerback taking home second-team all-conference honors. Now we switch over to the special teams, where Michael Fitzpatrick proved his worth as a punter with his ability to flip the field, earning him a second-team all-conference spot. And now a return specialist, whose electrifying returns set the tone for this team. Zach Lewis' explosive plays earned him a spot on the second-team all-conference. Now some honorable mentions here. Arnold Young on the defensive line took home an NJAC all-conference honorable mention. And rounding out the lineup, Jake Colon, a linebacker, taking home an honorable mention.
As the dust settles, the legacy of the Redhawks stands tall. The resilience, sweat, and determination of these 33 exceptional athletes and one coaching staff have created an unparalleled level of success in Montclair State sports history.
Along with all conference, 3 Redhawks received All-American honors this fall from the United Soccer Coaches. It's no surprise that Amir Lukovic made the first team All-American after becoming the nation's leading scorer and breaking the program's scoring record. Ian Chesney makes second team with 2 goals and 6 assists on the season. Lastly is Aileen Cahill, who receives third team honors with 12 goals and 7 assists. Congratulations to Amir, Ian, and Aileen. And in all region, we have 2 from field hockey, 4 in women's soccer, and 5 in men's. Congratulations to everyone on another award-winning season. 2023 has been an amazing year for Montclair State sports, but there's been a few key moments that have stood out to us the most. There are 7 teams with 85 games, but we only have time for the top 10 moments. To kick things off at 10, we have volleyball. Sky Ramsey had 21 kills against Merchant Marine Academy in their 3-1 victory. Ramsey ended the season second on the team in kills with 281. Number 9, it's men's basketball and Kieran Flanagan with his 4-point play in the home opener against Albertus Magnus. Coming in at 8th, it's Carly Van Tassel with what I would call a goal of the year contender, dribbling through 2 defenders and sent the ball into the back of the net against Ramapo. At number 7, we have Work Peralta breaking the school record for the 50 freestyle with a time of 24:24 against Vassar, But that wasn't enough for her as she broke her own record with a time of 24:06 against St. Peter's. Coming in at number 6, with 44 seconds left in the game, Aiden McLaughlin ran into the end zone to give the Redhawks the lead and eventually the win. At number 5, we have men's basketball with an insane buzzer beater.
Ties it! He ties it! Kyrie Henry!
Coming in at number 4, the one and only Amir Lukovic scoring his 30th goal of the season. His 30th goal came off of a penalty shot against Elmira in the 75th minute. And with that, he broke the single season record for Montclair State and now sits one goal off of the Montclair goals record with 62. At number 3, we have the field hockey team who knocked off a very good TCNJ team in overtime as the Redhawks upset the Lions in their final game of the season. Coming in at number 2, we have the women's soccer team beating Stockton in overtime in the NJAC quarterfinals. Nicole Ricci put it in the back of the net off of a feed from Aileen Cahill to send them into the semifinals against TCNJ. At number 1, who else but men's soccer, scoring with just 2 seconds left in the game against Stockton to send them into the NJAC finals.
Ellisy with the goal at Soccer Park. Till time expires. Time expires. Montclair State is heading to the NJAC finals.
Those were some great moments. And that's going to be it for the fall finale of Inside the Nest. We'll see everyone at the Mike Scala tournament at the end of the month. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at RedHawkSN and check out all our previous episodes of Inside the Nest and the show on our YouTube channel. Huge shout out to all the crew behind the scenes and in the control room who've made my final episode of Inside the Nest here at MSU extra special. I've been your host, Stefania Bastink, who wishes you happy holidays, and we'll see you next year.